here we are with the batting or the insulation level of the blanket Capote. We've got double layer of Hobbs 100% wool batting. So I folded it over and cut a 60 by 60. And I've got 100% natural linen for the inner part. We're going to quilt this, as this is the backing, so you'll never see this part, but it will be between the insulation level and the outer shell of the jacket itself, the wool blanket, the Capote. So get this laid out, pinned, and get it ready to quilt together. Alright, so when you're pinning this down, I would suggest starting with your bottom row. I did 2 spots, 2 rows, and then from there, you're going to work in a V pattern. So through the middle, okay? You're going to do that, and then go there, go each way, as a V pattern or herringbone, all the way down until you've finished each side and the whole bit of what I'm going to call the insulation layer. You're basically quilting, that's all you're doing. So you do the same thing for a blanket or a quilt. Keep on moving. Now that everything is pinned down, this is ready to quilt. Now, like I said, this layer here is going against the wool blanket. So you're never going to see this. That's your insulation layer, and that's your liner. I chose 100% linen just because I want to keep it as close to natural as I can. This is an old bed sheet that I thrifted. So there's low waste on that. Now it's Bertha's turn to get some work done. All right. Let's try this out. Not 100% this is going to work. I got all these try. Just fine. All right, Bertha, let's work. All right, check that. That is good. That will work. Ouch! Of course I have to poke myself. Alright, there we go. First course down. Nice and poofy. Now I will turn this into squared, so I'll have the second course going the opposite, or yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Go the other way, like little squares. Little pockets of warmth. Awesome. Now, quilting is done. For the bodice part of the insulation, we'll have to do the same thing for the arms or sleeves. I'm going to cheat, and I will use a sort of satin just to keep the arms from catching within the sleeves. So there will be that too. But now it's square this all off. Make sure it's 60 by 60. I actually need 60 by 55, I believe I measured the Capote for. However, yeah, it doesn't matter. But we'll get that squared off, and I'll likely use the serger right there and seal the edges so it will make it easier to attach it to the edges of the Capote. Make it a little simpler. So it's not completely historical, especially the insulation, but I want it to be extra warm when I'm out in the bush. So there we go. Lovely. So your next step will be to baste your liner to your outer shell. Alright. See here, this is exactly what I've done. I did this by hand stitching, but you can go ahead and use a machine. That's no big deal. Keep it authentic and historical, do it by hand. But so I did the original idea that I wanted to do. So I ended up having to cut 5 inches off the bottom of the liner because I wasn't thinking when I measured everything. But yeah, I cut off the bottom 5 inches so that I could overlap the bottom of the blanket so that it's nice and rounded and it won't catch branches and other things while I'm in the bush. And I just tack that on with a whip stitch, and that's good to go. straight, whatever. One-handed.